I know that I have half jokingly said that Ubisoft is messing up on a daily basis and pretty much every single day we find something new. Well, I didn't think that it would actually become full truth. Good evening, ladies and gents. My name is Hills the Bearded Balkan Blabbermouth, and I am disgusting. And today, once again, of course, we shall talk about Ubisoft. However, with a slight amendment. This will not just be what Ubisoft is doing now with Assassin's Creed Shadows and how much they're messing up every single thing that they absolutely can after being completely adamant that they're going off as a absolutely respectful way towards the Japanese culture and want to be as authentically as possible. No, today we are going to talk about something that actually began in 2020 and is now being moved forward and actually has some development. The article comes from Smash JT, who said Ubisoft lawsuit exposes years of sexual harassment. Oh, the irony. Now, for context, this is something that has happened since 2020, where several Ubisoft high-profile people have been caught and allegedly fired or forced to resign due to, again, alleged sexual misconduct in the company. There have been tons of articles about it, and if my memory serves correctly, in 2023 one of them was actually arrested finally and moved to trial. Now, what we have here is a very good culmination of the whole thing, what has been happening and what has been updated as of the last several days. So let us begin. Ubisoft, once considered a titan in the gaming industry long ago, I know, but stay with me here. I love this personal inserts, by the way. Is now facing quite the reckoning with a scandal that has allegedly festered for years behind the scenes. On March 10th to 14th, 2025, three former senior executives, Serge Hascoët, Thomas Francois, and Guillaume Patou, will all come together and stand trial in the Bobigny criminal court, accused of systemic sexual and moral harassment that permeated throughout the French gaming giant. The irony of how a moral grandstanding company like Ubisoft always seems to be the one projecting their own internal insecurities on society isn't lost on me. Yeah, apart from that, this is something that apparently has been happening quite a bit, and I'm going to not read the whole article, but I would just focus on a few key points. Well, this has been going on for years, and this was a big deal, I think, in the 2020s, and even before that there were rumors, and then things started happening around 2020 where a lot of the Me Too and the exposés happened on a lot of companies that have been doing that sexual misconduct. Of course, there were some of them that were ultimately proved to be fake and proved to be just in search of a little bit of attention, but a lot of them, and the majority of them, were actually proven to be true. And after several investigations have happened in a lot of these companies, it was discovered that things were very, very abhorrent. He posts here a link with a screenshot from the Reddit post from 1 year ago. 5 former Ubisoft executives, including Serge Hascoët and Thomas Francois, have been arrested. This was what I was talking about before, following a year-long investigation into claims of sexual assault and harassment. So they took a year of investigating before they have arrested them. The case was started in 2020, which was following a wave of anonymous testimonies on Twitter. Now it has now been brought to light through investigation report by Liberation and Noom. And this is basically what has happened. The anonymous testimonies, like when a lot of women that have found their voice, so to say, as per their sayings back then, and they stood up and actually reported on these heinous crimes. The initial fallout was almost immediate, with Hascoët, Ubisoft's former creative director and number 2 in command, resigning. One first patrol was dismissed for serious misconduct. And the serious misconduct, by the way, is really troubling. Like, I'm gonna show you here in the further down in the article. In terms of Francois, his behavior had reportedly included publicly playing pornographic films at full volume. My god, who the fuck would do that openly? Like, how deep far in your own head as your grandeur vision of yourselves have to be to do that? Forcing surprise kisses on employees, yeah, alright. If I was some of those employees' boyfriend or husband, I would immediately get this guy not fired, but something very, very more serious. And degrading colleagues with insults such as bitch, ugly, and stuff. One incident even described him coercing a newly hired employee into doing a handstand in an open office while wearing a skirt. My guy, this is like, how are you that much in your own head? I can't even, like, this is so drunk with power. This is someone who's so drunk with power that he thinks he's a god. And moving to arrests and trial means that there is evidence of those stuff. Like, there's some evidence, probably photographs, probably video, probably a lot of testimonies from 5 different people, at least, that have the same story. Like, this is absolutely abhorrent and serious, and I don't know if that all that turns out to be true. I just don't know exactly what type of person this guy is. I've heard him speak probably once in a clip on YouTube, and like, he wasn't anything special in my eyes, and I don't remember exactly what he was talking about, but just imagine how deep inside your mind you have to be, like how grand you have to feel yourself that everyone should bow to you and do your bidding. And apparently it used to be so, and it used to happen a lot, because that thing, that sort of mentality, if proven to be absolutely true, does not build over short period of time. This is someone that is built over many years of people actually falling for that kind of behavior. In another, he allegedly tied an employee to a chair, placed her in an elevator, and sent her to another floor. Action that sound more like fraternity hazing than professional code. But nope, that was at Ubisoft's offices. My god, this is like idiotic. Like, I can get pranks, but that goes beyond pranks. And also, completely out of other context, like, women generally don't get pranks the same way that guys do. Like, guys are generally much more well-natured towards pranks, so you could do that to a male colleague and you might get away with it. But if you do that to a girl, unless you know for sure that she's cool like that, then you're probably gonna have a bad time. And most disturbingly, Francois is also facing an attempted sexual assault charge after reportedly trying to forcefully kiss an employee during a Christmas party while colleagues held her down. So this is basically attempted sexual assault, like grape. I'm not gonna say that other word. This sounds like a skit gone wrong from a show, The Office. Yeah, it does. And I actually urge you to watch Smash JT's video on that topic, because he has a lot of sweet cutaways that I will be linking that video down in the description below. Things that don't actually happen in real life allegedly were happening. Yeah, for every exaggeration in a show, you could probably pin at least one instance when something like this has happened. This has been proven time and time again. The toxic culture didn't stop with Francois though. Haskoet, don't care if I'm actually saying the name right, but anyways, who held immense power within the walls of Ubisoft, stands accused of making sexually inappropriate remarks and racist comments. One example, as cited in the investigative report, involved him asking a Muslim employee after the 2015 terrorist attacks if she subscribed to the ideology of the Islamic State. So I don't know exactly what the context of this was. If it was just a question, I can't say that it should be like the absolute worst thing to ask. However, being reported like this, it probably was in a very wrong context. He also allegedly subjected her to Islamophobic harassment. Okay, so there it is. Such as things like changing her computer wallpaper to images of bacon sandwiches and placing food on her desk during Ramadan. The guy sounds like a dick, to be honest. Like, this is Ubisoft, the DI forefront, holy warrior of inclusivity, diversity, equity, racial equality, and all of these things. And as with everything else, just like with absolutely far-right religious extremists, as we have seen time and time again, some JDA people and all of that, the most holier than thou people in no matter in religion, in this case the woke left code, they all seem to have the worst actions performed behind closed doors. And this is not me talking bad against the entirety of religion or whatever, but it would seem that the most devout people in whatever cult or ideology or religious belief, the people who are absolutely intolerable of any change are actually some of the most perverse motherfuckers out there, and this has been proven time and time again. And I feel sorry that mid people that have a really based and very reserved viewpoint of the world that actually can accept some natural diversity and some natural religious spiritual guidance and stuff, who are basically just taking the best out of everything and just living a full life, are being dragged and are catching strays because of bad apples within every single one of these communities. And I'm saying that as someone who is in the middle. I am taking whatever is good, and I just don't want to subscribe to the bad stuff, because bad stuff are inherently immoral. And as you can see, stuff at Ubisoft is absolutely gone off the deep end with this lawsuit. This is absolutely deplorable behavior, and this has apparently been going on for years and years, all the while facing towards the crowd and saying, we are inclusive, we respect women, we want equality, we want to promote this feminist ideology, and behind closed doors there's just like, bend over for me, you know. The article continues. The real horror of this case isn't just the actions of a few men, but more so Ubisoft's complete failure to stop any of it from happening. According to the investigation, dozens of witnesses were heard, yet many declined to file complaints, fearing retaliation from the gaming industry. That's just one of the many things that I hate. You fear for your job, you fear for your safety, you fear that someone might take action against you if you speak your voice. This is something that I think needs to go away as a whole. This doesn't surprise me at all. In fact, the way the gaming industry has been built upon blackballing anyone who doesn't adhere to the code almost encourages this type of silent atmosphere. Exactly. The common thread among these testimonies, Ubisoft's human resource department knew about all of it and did nothing. Of course they did nothing. They were either coerced or were just in on all of it, allegedly. As the report says, HR demonstrated inertia despite being repeatedly alerted to the feathers. They don't want to spoil the water, they just want things to go, and the company to be in good standing because they are receiving good money for it. This is exactly what happens, allegedly. I have seen it in a lot of companies that I have been with. There have been a lot of bad stuff happening. And the article ends with, the case here is just the latest in an extremely long line of scandals that have exposed the gross underbelly of the gaming industry's rampant issues with workplace misconduct. Ubisoft has already suffered significant reputational damage from the 2020 revelations, but this trial happening out will only serve as a definitive test of whether justice will truly be served, or if the industry will continue to shield its abusers. It's probably going to continue shielding its abusers because any shift, willing or unwilling, is very slow, so they will continue to do what they have always done, in my opinion. And probably in, say, 2, 3, 4 years, someone will actually start turning the boat and they'll come out and say something else and completely turn the tide. He also lists the source, and a shout out to Hypnotic who gave him the tip, which is just amazing that people who are YouTubers, ordinary people, and just do this from their homes have more and more integrity, and they're just absolutely sidelining any sort of journalism that we have used to seeing, because these are actually honest people. This is exactly what I enjoy seeing when people like Smash, when people like Hypnotic, when other people in that Parkplace and people on X, on YouTube, just expose and are being completely honest. That's because people with integrity don't get controlled by the media. They just get what they want and get what they can with information and just run with it and are being honest with it. That's how it should be. And this expose on Ubisoft's lawsuit, while it's too big to not be reported by official media sources, again, it would probably not reach a lot of ears if it's not people like Smash and like other YouTubers that would spread it even more, so more and more people would say it. Because I can assure you that not a lot of people are simply digging every day for new information. No, they get what they have on page 1 or page 2 on the local or the internet news, if they don't see a report or something that has been popped up and just pushed into the algorithm, they won't search for it, and there are only a few handful of people that actually do this stuff. So when you have these people that dig this stuff also being YouTubers and content creators, and then you have other people that report on them more and more, and just the news spreads, that's how you get clarity, that's how you get transparency, and that's how you expose shadow practices. That's how you keep people and companies on their toes and stressed enough so that they don't try to do any stupid shit. And that's how it needs to be for the future. That's what needs to be. That we need to be the news, we need to be the people who report, we need to be the voice, and we need to spread the voice to every single one who enjoys games, who enjoys entertainment, who enjoys anything, and to tell the truth without filters, without any subversion, and to not adhere to any censorship whatsoever. Because this is the fight, and the fight, my dear friends, is good. Thank you very much for watching this video if you did so far. If you enjoy my content, press the like and subscribe button. Press also the join button if you want to join the DiscussThing Guild and become a member. Help me grow on YouTube and help me make this into my permanent gig. Please also leave your comments down in the comment section below. Leave your thoughts. I would love to read them and love to discuss any topic regarding this one or something else with you. And if you want to help homeless animals and animals in shelters, there's a Patreon link of a page that I operate, and 100% of those money go to helping homeless animals and animals in shelters here in my country and internationally. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Kelso. This was DiscussThing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Cheers and stay fresh.